All right, your video disappeared for a sec, but you're back. So I'm sitting here reading my lunch. I didn't think we were even gonna. I didn't even remember, quite honestly, they were doing a podcast today. You didn't either. Your wife, you, huh?
What's this?
What?
I don't know what that is. Choose together mode. You see where it's view. There's a little grid view. I don't know what that means. Means, how do you get like 50% of the screen? I get 50.
It doesn't matter. Sure. I don't know. Push the button if you want. It doesn't matter. As far as I can tell, I'm just not quite. It doesn't matter. I don't care. You can put me in the corner. You can put me upside down, or I can disappear. It's all good, man.
Hey, yeah,
I'm not too concerned about
upside down. That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all good,
I don't
man.
know. I don't know what all of it is. It's kind of like a together mode. What does that mean? I don't know what a together mode is. I don't know. Gabriel recording call. Together mode has been enabled. Oh.
Okay.
Well,
there you go. I don't like it. I can't even see, man.
Yeah, it's weird, huh? Okay, let's.
You may want to just put it back.
Yeah, I think so. View.
Put it back. I can hear you now, but I can't see you.
Oh, I'm there. I just can't see you. Huh. Let's see. Okay. Well, anyway, you should be on there, right? There.
I can't see.
Yeah, your camera's
put it
up
back
a little
to where it was, man.
Oh man, you're eating a burger.
Forest trees and some steps.
Well, yeah, I don't see that. I did before, but I turned it off.
What? Who? What?
The steps, I don't see those anymore.
Yeah, can you just put it back the way it was? Because I could see if it was working fine before.
Well, it is.
Let
me see. It is back the way it was on my screen. But you gotta. Okay. Yeah. Hey, I don't know how that works, man. So you're eating a burger, huh?
I'm eating a burger. I can't see, man. I can't even see you.
Really?
Hold on. Let's go. Yeah, let's just go to classic view like it was.
Gabriel is recording the call.
Great.
Okay. Translate captions. More. What's more say? Change background. Change background.
There you go. Perfect. I can see it now. Perfect. That's all. Just don't touch nothing now.
You did it?
It's all good. I can see now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We can we can sit on the steps later on. It's all right, man. Yeah, but I'm just sitting here eating Burger King. I actually ordered this probably an hour ago because it got all of a sudden it got very busy around here, and I was like, yeah, I forgot to eat my lunch. So, but anyway, you found me. I'm like, oh yeah, Burger King, of course.
Is that a Whopper?
It's a Whopper. I don't play around, man. I have to go for the good stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, but how's that in Bangkok? Do you guys have some good stuff there?
Oh
A
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
selection.
We're getting pretty heavy into the burgers now. I mean, they're coming up with all kinds of stuff. If you have you ever been to my Facebook post? I got a Facebook post called Burger Post, and
Okay.
it's where
How's that work?
everybody sends their pictures of their burgers, and
Right
and
on.
some of them are just unbelievable. It's like, yeah, it didn't come from Thailand. Yeah, somebody from Europe or whatever came up with a burger and made it over here. But it's pretty good. They do they doing now. They're getting into some cheese and all kinds of stuff. Where 10 years ago, getting a burger here was not easy. Not easy to do. Now they're everywhere.
No, I remember I was I was a teacher for like 4 years in China. I remember when I was in China, I actually worked in a city up north in northern China called Zhengzhou, and I remember for a year when I was there, I just had a tourist visa because as an American, you can get a 10-year tourist visa, and I would fly down to Hong Kong back and forth every 2 months because it was only good for like 60 days a pop. So,
Yeah, yeah,
but the way I looked at it, it was a lot simpler to do it that way as an American than to, like even I didn't mind because for one thing they had good burgers in Taiwan, kind of like Thailand, but yeah, it was probably like 5, 10 years ago when I was doing that. But I don't know about Thailand now or before, but the burgers in China, mainland China, were horrible. If you wanted a good burger, go to Hong Kong. And
right.
that's what I did. Was I just went there to renew my visa, and then head back to Hong Kong. But anyways, or yeah, head back to Zhengzhou. But it would count as another country, so then I could go back to Zhengzhou, northern China. My tourist visa would start all over, and I got paid in cash. But that to me was just made a lot more sense than to get a work visa at that time because I don't know why, but that work visa. Well, I know why because it's a government office, right? And government
Right. You're
offices are
registered,
horrible,
right?
like a DMV. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, come on, dealing with these people because they don't care at all. Anyways, if you
Yeah.
miss, oh, you didn't write in the right line, you skipped a space, do it all over again. Oh, goody. I love the DMV slash immigration
Yeah.
office, right? You know, there you
Yeah.
go.
That's true.
That's how that worked.
I did the
What about Thailand?
I did the same thing when I was living in Taiwan. I was a computer purchaser for the U.S. I would every 2 months I'd take fly out, and so same thing every 60 days, and instead of getting a visa, and the company paid for it and everything, and I'd get to come to Thailand, or like I used to go to Makati, once in a while,
Right,
uh, Vietnam, things like that. And,
right.
and I'd just go and I'd spend a few days or a week and stuff like that, and then just go back. So, because everything was online. So it's like, yeah, that worked out good. Yeah. So it was,
That was in Taiwan, you said?
yeah, when I worked in
You
Taiwan.
or
Yeah.
when
And then
you worked in Taiwan?
once I moved over here, it's like I had to go for a 1 year visa. And that was quite a hassle until I got uh, now I got a service that I just go through, and I pay them the money, and then they go and do it for me, which
Right.
is okay. It's all right.
It works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of China, would you think about that big balloon that was hanging around?
I don't, I don't know. I don't know why they finally shot that thing down.
Yeah,
eventually. I don't know why they just didn't shoot that down. America's gone soft, I think. So they're like, it could hurt somebody, if it fell down
yeah,
from the sky. I'm like, dude, in Montana,
yeah,
I'm like, Montana, the likelihood of it landing on somebody or hurting somebody is about 0.0001% or something like that. Like
yeah.
it's like virtually impossible, but you know, I
Well,
don't know. It could
and
have a bomb up there. I don't know.
if
Go
he,
ahead.
if they would have dropped it on Fred's barn or something out there, he'd be famous. You know, then people could go out and stop and look at it and say, "Oh yeah, this is where it dropped," and so he could
You could
like,
sell tickets.
yeah,
Fred could
Fred could.
sell tickets, right?
That's right. Yeah. So I like the idea, but no, they waited till they got out over the ocean, over Myrtle Beach, and then they bumped it off. But apparently, they shot it at the point where all the electronics were. They didn't shoot up above where they could have shot it anywhere, and instead of destroying everything, so they were covering something up. It was
I don't know.
is it
It's just drama for the sake of drama mostly. I don't know. America is like I said, you and I are overseas, but a lot of it's just political garbage.
yeah
Um, and we're better off just leaving it alone. And again, I don't know about you, but I mean, for me and for a lot of expats, talking to your family or people in the States, good luck, having a
yeah
rational conversation there. I've
yeah
been, I love my dad to death, but having a conversation with my dad, I had to stop doing it. I said, Dad, I love you dearly. Here's my email. Just send me an email. We'll correspond there. And because normally I would have chats like this with my dad, but it was it was just it wasn't it was irreconcilable. At least for now, anyways. I'm just like, because every time I talk to him, he's got his own idea of how the world works, and damn it, that's the end of the story. It's like, all
well
right,
I gotta
go
I gotta
ahead.
tell you a news story that came out yesterday.
Hmm.
I About a week ago, I I haven't talked to my boss from Hong Kong in a long time. He's an American also from I think from somewhere in California or something. Anyway, so he happens to be in Bangkok right when I send him a message, and he goes, "Whoa, I'm right down the road from you. Let me come on up and see you." And I said, okay, so he comes up and everything. We start talking, and then we go back online, and we've been talking the last couple of days. And he says, "Have you got to that open AI chat? The chat GPT or whatever, right?" And I went,
Yeah.
"Well, yeah, I did a little bit, but I'm kind of a little worried about, that getting that kind of junk on my computer, and everything." And he says, "Well, I found out he's totally woke and he's a Democrat." And I mean, we're talking strong left. And he says, my boss kind of tried to word it, checking him out, and he checked. He said that he cannot make a compliment to a white person. The
Hey,
chat can't.
what?
The chat um, cannot make a compliment to a white person.
I don't know what it is. I
It, it's
think.
it's it's like totally woke.
Well, I don't know about that, but I think he might be reading you or he or somebody might be reading a bit into it. Kind of like my dad. So I wouldn't worry about it too much, one way or the other. But I wouldn't read too much into it. That Chat GPT, I've checked it out. You know, it's basically like uh, advanced form of Google search, pretty much. You know,
Yeah.
because you can find anything you want to know on Google search, right?
Yeah.
And all you got to do is just type it in, pull it up. Well, Chat GPT pretty much takes that next step of
Yeah.
going there. But yeah, I don't know politically one way or the other. I don't know. I know my dad. On the same token, my dad. We always make fun of people on the left being in safe spaces. Well, there's definitely conservative safe spaces as well. People that have their view and that's it. The
Yep.
end. And
Yeah.
everyone has their own opinion, whether you're on the left or the right, doesn't matter. Everyone's gonna have their opinion, and I try to just say, hey man, that's great. You want a job? Let's talk about employment, right? Keep it simple, right? Because otherwise it's going to get into a debate, and it's always going to be a challenge. You know, either you're not on the left enough or not on the right enough, or this, that. It doesn't matter. It's almost always a losing proposition to get into that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, I know what you mean. There's like the far right and there's the far left, you know. It's like nobody really wants to be in the middle anymore, you know, and it's like ah, people have a people have a hard time just saying, you know, can't we just talk about sports or something without politics involved, you know, and everything's got to have politics involved, and it's like people are tired of it, you know. It's just like, come
Well,
on.
I'm very happy with what I do in recruitment, and really for any job market you find yourself in. That's the way it's got to be. You got to try it. I know it's a challenging to be in the middle, but that's where you got to be. You have to be in the middle for your mental health. Otherwise, you're gonna be dealing with all these people on the far right or the far left and all this crap. You know, you got to keep it straight down the middle, and let's talk about employment. Let's talk about jobs. Okay, you don't like this person, you don't like Trump, you don't like Biden. Okay, cool. Let's just talk about employment. Okay, keep it down the middle. What by the way, for the audience, what do you do? What do you talked about your boss there for a minute? Your boss of what? What do you do?
Oh, oh, my ex-boss, when I
Your
used to,
ex-boss. So what did you do?
oh, I was a purchaser for computer products like hardware, mostly, you know, just hardware. I didn't buy like software or anything. So I'd buy like, you know, like 100,000 motherboards or something that
Right.
were left over from Foxconn. They brought out the new generation, so we bid on the old stock. And or I'd, you know, buy like one time I bought like 10,000 42-inch TVs, you know, and because they came out with a new screen or something like that. So I bought off all the old ones, you know, that kind of thing. And but most of my stuff was a little bit older. Some of it wasn't. It was experimental stuff. Also, where I'd buy it, and
Right.
you know, it wouldn't be covered under warranties and stuff like that because it'd be like some new product and stuff. Uh, but that's the kind of thing I did. You know, disk drives, hard drives, RAM. I didn't buy much RAM. My other guy in the U.S. did mostly, but when it comes down to buying, you know, video cards, I'd buy a ton of video cards. I'd fill like
Right.
a whole, you know, container load full of, or something like that of cards, you know, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I went from, I don't know, selling like buying $500,000 a month down to like 20 or 30,000 a month, and it happened. It happened right after Obama came in, March 31st, 2009. I remember, and everything just all of a sudden just starts.
What happened on March 31st, 2009?
He took over. He basically like double or tripled the security in the not immigration, but
here. I'm just
where all the where all the cargo came in, stuff like that, Longview, that kind of things there, and started making sure that I couldn't use a watermark if it had USB on it, USB symbol. I had to have paperwork that said that this is approved USB and blah, blah, blah. And you couldn't, let's say it was some client had all these, building all this stuff and had all these Sony drives. They couldn't sell the Sony drives off to me because I had to have a letter from Sony saying it was okay for me to buy their drives. Right. So he made it so that Walmart's the only person that could really buy from them. Right. Yeah.
That's gotta be really frustrating, for anyone doing work, and
sure.
dealing with every time there's a new presidential administration, whether it's on the left or the right, doesn't matter. It'll screw up the market. Talk to NASA, right? NASA has all their projects. Well, we're going to go to the moon. We're going to do the Artemis program. We're going to do this. And then when Obama or Trump or now Biden, every time one of those new administration comes in, it can screw up the market one way or the other. Maybe it makes it really good, or maybe it just tanks the market. But it happens, and it's just part of the way America works, right?
Oh, just cut the program and stuff like that. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad, but it's kind of it's something that happened, and it never. My company finally went under a couple years ago. They finally just they couldn't stay afloat anymore, and
before 2020 or was 2020 the death knell?
The what?
2020, was that the death punch that get rid of your business, or?
Pretty much that's when I think when my company Evertech went was probably around 2020, 2021, something like that is when it, I think basically it was, if that anybody could survive the lockdowns and stuff like that, that was pretty incredible, but that pretty much finished off most of the places, so
I think a lot of companies were affected by 2020. I know in our industry, in the ESL industry, I know probably at least half the recruiting companies out there, they went belly up, they went out of business. So you're certainly not alone. There were a lot of companies in a lot of industries that went belly up. So that's how it was. We're still here. We just had to lighten load, let some people go, and really look at our priorities just to survive, right?
So, what's the name of the company you're with?
Golden Staffing. It's
Golden
my company.
Staff. That's right.
I own it. Golden Staffing LLC. Yeah. So we're incorporated in America, but I'm here in Manila. I'm on this side of the world. You're in the beautiful city of Bangkok. What time is it there in Bangkok? I forget. Are we on the same time, or?
Yeah. Let's see. It's 12:29 here.
Okay. So we're just an hour ahead of you.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
But no, we're still here, but we had to lighten load. So your company went belly up. So What are you just retired now, or what's your status? What's your game plan going
Well,
forward?
I was for about 13 years, and then I decided I needed to, get back into it, and so I'm still scrambling around trying to get work. Um, I still, I teach online, and with my own business seems to do okay. I mean, not okay. I mean, at least it pays some of the bills. But the other things that I'm working at some other stuff too, but mainly just teaching right now, and writing. I finished with my children's book. Just doing illustrations right now, and then I'll put that out here pretty soon. And I've been using that for teaching also. So I use it for teaching. I write a chapter, every week or whatever, and just keep using it for teaching. And then when I'm finished with it, then I can publish it.
Nice, nice. And
Yeah.
where can folks find that? Is that on Amazon, or do you have a private link people can check that
I
out
haven't
on?
I
Or
haven't put it on yet. I've got my other book on free books, free ebooks, I think it is, and
okay,
and but that's has nothing to do with my teaching. It's one I wrote over the years, travels and stuff like that. It's called The Drunken Traveler, and
right on.
yeah, so that kind of tells you where it's headed. But
There you
it's
go.
on like 5 different continents or something like that. I don't know. But
Well, if you can say, can people still buy that? Do you have a link you can send me? Yeah,
actually, it's free.
it's free.
Yeah, I quit trying to sell it because,
Well, send me the link where people can get it for free then. Well, you can
yeah,
do that later.
because
I'll just put it.
people are,
I'll put it in the description. Go ahead.
yeah, people were trying to just, to get the book just uh, to learn stuff and everything like that. So Japan, I was selling copies actually in Japan, and then that kind of at Amazon, I think it went down into the basement and got lost. So I don't, I haven't seen any commissions for it in like 2 years. But I'm going to change it again. I'm going to redo it and bring it back up again. Change the name. Yeah. My
There
my
you go.
boss, my ex-boss just showed it to me yesterday. He says, "Oh, look what I found in my closet," and he pulls it out, and it's my book. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you said something about 13 years retirement. Did I mishear you? You were retired for 13 years?
Yeah.
Thir- yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
How old are you now? 60
60.
what?
60.
60. So wait a minute, you've been retired since you were 47?
Yeah.
Man, how do you pull that off? I'm 41, man. 47, that's just around the corner, I'm
Well, I
sure.
was I was doing, the I think that my job in Taiwan was, might have been 100,000 a year, but the cost of living for a single guy was basically nothing, you know.
Right,
And so I saved a lot of money, and then
right,
my parents died, and so my brother, we got a house, got their house and everything, and then he bought it from me, and so I just said okay, and then before you know it, everything runs out, and you're just like going crap,
right.
so yeah. And it's not so easy getting a job over here when you're a foreigner. because they don't really appreciate me working over here, and I don't know in the Philippines if it's as severe as it is here, but here it's deportation.
Yeah, well, I try to keep to myself. Like I said, I already paid tax. It's a tax issue. I already pay taxes to Uncle Sam, so I don't want to get double taxed. And that's part of my falling out with China. I was in China for 4 years, and they wanted me to get a business license in China, which means I'm not only am I would I be I didn't buy that. That's why I'm part of why I'm in the Philippines. But China wanted me to pay taxes to Uncle Sam and Uncle Mao, and I'm like,
Of
no,
course.
that doesn't really sit well, especially with an American. But really, most people wouldn't play that game. So,
Well,
right?
it's the same thing here, and like I had to I had to my own bank account. America sent me a W-9 form to fill out,
Mm-hmm.
and my bank account here, so that if any money went into it, they would be able to tax it. And it's like, come on, man, just take it easy.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there are a lot of advantages to, working overseas. I mean, as an American, somebody call, so I'll call them back. As an American, we have a lot of exemptions working overseas, right? I think as an American, this won't really affect anybody else that's not an American, but as an American, I think we're exempt up to $117,000 a year of money made overseas. Now, there's lots of rules and regulations to that, but when you're working overseas, there's a lot of loopholes you can utilize.
Sure.
And that's one of the silly things I think they came after Trump for. Like I said, there's a lot of silly stuff they go after Trump and Biden for. So just a lot of silly stuff going on in the political landscape in America these days. But Trump didn't pay a lot of taxes. But if I was in his shoes, if you were in his shoes, if anyone was in his shoes, of course, you try to pay as little as possible. That's called being responsible, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You do things legally, but you find, what you can, because you have to invest in other projects and stuff like that, right? You
Yeah.
have to be able to, feed your family and do this and do that. Trump had plenty of money, though. I think he wasn't having a challenge feeding his family. But, yeah, you need to be able to be at least intelligent enough. And anybody does that, right? Whether making, $500 million a year, or $5 a year, it doesn't matter. Uncle Sam doesn't give a crap, right? They will come
Yeah.
after you no matter what. So
Yeah. Yeah.
you legally want to make sure you're get the best deal there legally. You always want to do everything legally. If you do anything illegally, they're going to come after you. You hear about that? Biden hired on those 89,000 new IRS agents. You hear
Yeah.
about that?
Yes.
That's going to end well, huh?
I don't know if that's really going to happen.
That's what we need in the world. That's what we need in the world. More IRS agents. My prayers have been answered. Thank you,
Yeah,
Mr. Biden.
but they have to know how to use a gun.
Who's that? Oh,
The IRS agents, yeah. That's actually, they took it off, but it was on the IRS website, was that you have to be able to pack a gun. You imagine?
I'm never going to go back to America. I think I'm pretty sure. I've been overseas for 15 years, but you know it's on both sides, man. You give everybody guns, it
Yeah.
ain't gonna end well, Because I mean, there are a lot of people that can be very responsible. People I know that I grew up with. My best friend growing up, his father had a bunch of guns for hunting. He kept in the chamber. or he got locked up in his gun rack, whatever it's called. But anyways, my dad never had a gun. But I talked to my dad recently. You know, when we used to talk like once a week. But anyways, um, yeah, but my dad's packing now and this and that. And unfortunately, not everyone is going to be responsible with the guns. A lot of times, unfortunately, the reality is there are people that are very stuck in their own ways and they're very prideful and stubborn. And if you say one thing they don't agree with, there's a good chance in the heat of the moment they're going to pull out the gun, and do something stupid with it, right? And
I
you're
don't
seeing
know.
this in
Yeah.
some regards.
Well,
Yeah.
I got five. I've got five guns, but they're most of them are antiques. But I do have them at my back in Oregon and a house, and you know, I I don't. My brother won't even touch them. He doesn't even like. He says no.
Right.
Don't make me look at the guns. You know, that kind of thing. So hey, are
Yeah.
you getting? Let's see.
Well, I like.
We're getting near this.
What's that?
We should probably think about cutting this. Been
Well,
on.
you know, I still got 15 minutes, you know. But I mean, whenever it naturally runs out, I think it's probably when we should cut it. Um, but yeah, I pretty much, yeah. Just so what are you doing nowadays? What do you're coming out of retirement? But what are you doing? Just tutoring online, or
Well, I do
you
some.
saying you're having a hard time getting a job there? Go ahead.
Yeah, I do digital marketing online. You know, I also do CBD oil,
Okay.
and I do, of course, the teaching, and also just other things that I can keep in, and maybe there's something's going to come out of it. Like the teaching thing is kind of basically what works the best because hey, it either happens or it happens, so I get some clients and stuff, and they usually never leave, that kind of thing. Where with I've got a school that I worked for. I still work for it, but I'm down to two students. I used to be up at like 10 or 15 students. Now I'm down to two, the same two every week. So I I don't think it's going really well for them because of the economy. I think a lot of people go, hey, I you know I'd like to be able to afford this next month or the month after that, and then it keeps going on every month. So it's like they never get it done. So
Right.
I've got some that just say, yeah, I'm coming back here, and then it's like month after month after month after, oh, next month, next month, next month, that kind of thing. So anyway, so I'm just kind of just trying to get more and more students. That's pretty much how it's going to go. Between that and writing, that's the only way I can really do anything. Yeah.
Well, if if this video gets famous, which I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah, if it does, maybe that'll get you some exposure, huh?
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
don't.
yeah, you're right. We should probably wrap up. I've had a couple missed calls from people. I should probably get back to, which I didn't think was a thing, because I have you, for our little podcast here. I called you up on a different instance of Windows, which normally shouldn't have any interruptions, but I don't know how. Somehow people found me here on Skype, and I'm still getting missed calls. I'm like, how does that happen? I thought I hid myself appropriately, but I guess somehow my popularity got leaked out. But or my yeah, are you famous or are you infamous? I don't know.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
all the above. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
That
So,
would be nice. Yeah. Yeah,
well,
and next time
go
your
ahead.
camera it should be a little bit higher too, because it cuts off your head.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
There we
So,
go.
yeah.
I heard you say it before, and I didn't catch what you were talking about. I was trying to figure out how the heck to make the thing work, because I couldn't even see you after a while. I'm like, wait a minute, it was working fine before. Let's go back to the way it was.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, we got to figure it out. So, and like
Yeah.
I was telling you, I got Malaysia. I got Malaysia coming up tomorrow. So I got to fly tomorrow, and then really I'm going to be in Malaysia all the rest of this week. I'm flying back to Manila on Friday, but go. I have no idea what kind of Wi-Fi I'm gonna have there, and good
Right.
luck.
Right.
So I figured that's what I said. Just find me on Monday. So I'm
Yeah.
glad your wife reminded you to
Yeah, I know.
call me up. Yeah,
She's
it
just
sounds
like,
like neither one of us had any clue, right?
yeah. Right. Well, it'll get to be a habit, I guess, pretty soon where we'll start planning around it or something. Once we get some really good, you know, stuff, and kind of nail it down. Uh, right now, it's just kind of like hunting and fishing. So we can always start out though, and if people want to watch it, they want to watch it, and see what's going on in Philippines and Thailand.
Yeah, I like I said, I think that's kind of the way that it. I'm down with once a week. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
We can stop and just do an hour or 40 minutes, whatever.
Yeah.
And I really don't think. I think just living by the spirit, just having conversations, just like we always
Sure.
do. I don't really think we have any kind of. That's why you mentioned when you mentioned talking about cars and inverters and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that because I'm not really good with giving me a topic and gotta stay in that lane. I'm like, no, just wherever the conversation goes, 'cause that's pretty
Sure.
much how it works, and it works out very well. Like I
Yeah.
said, I think we had a very, very fruitful discussion here. And
Yeah.
we got to understand each other. The audience got to understand us a little bit better. So
Hey, it can only
either
get
way, man,
better, man. It
it
can
only
only
gets
get
better.
better.
So it only gets
Yeah.
better. So like I said, but probably this time on Monday, next Monday, if you're free,
Yeah.
I'm game. You
Let's do
know,
every Monday then.
again, yeah, like I said, I'm always free every Monday from let's say 11 to 2 my time. So
Yeah. Okay.
it'd be like 10 to 1 your time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, just
We can
give
do
me
it.
knock my door and I'll step aside and give it a call on my private instance. Try to figure out how to make it work. But all right, man. Well,
All right.
yeah, we'll just wrap it up. Do you have anything else?
Not really. Not at this time.
Hey,
Just
where did these Skype recorded calls go? Because I think I'm gonna put this up on my YouTube and my Facebook. But
I
how do
think
you
it
where
I
does
think
it
it
save the file?
goes I think it fades your Windows 10.
Yeah.
Okay. It should be under the one that says camera settings or camera. Um, it should be go to your let's see. You should be able to hit like right here. Right here, it should have all these things up here. Should put it in one of these, I think.
Okay.
I'm not positive.
Either way, we'll play it. I'll play around. That'll find it.
Yeah, you should be able to
But
go into quick access and get it up there.
yeah.
All
Well,
right.
it's
Yeah.
it should. This is the first video I ever recorded, I think, on
Yeah.
this computer. So it should be the only one I can find. So it shouldn't be too tricky to find, but we'll see. Either
Yeah.
way, man.
Yeah. Well, just send it to me.
Game.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you did you record or no?
Oh, yeah, you're right, I did. Okay,
Okay. So you should have a copy in your end as well. So,
yeah,
but
right.
if you need a copy, let me know. But I
Yeah, I
don't know how
will.
big these files are. So,
All right.
we'll see. But either way, man,
All
we'll
right,
catch up. And like I said, just give me a holler next Monday.
right. All right, well,
Between
have a
10 and
good
1
trip
your time.
tomorrow. Have a good trip. All right.
Always good trip.
Talk to you
Like I
later.
said, my door's always open, and I'm sure we'll talk more later. But if you don't
All right.
hear from me, find me next Monday for sure, man. All right.
Amen. All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take
Bye.
care. All right. God bless. All right. Goodbye.